we have already studied the process of spermatogenesis and oogenesis individually. But here in this segment, we'll be comparing these two processes. See the flow chart. Both the processes look quite similar because both undergo similar phases like multiplicative, growth and differentiation phases. So what are the differences? Let's find out. So you can see this table. It is a comparison between spermatogenesis and oogenesis process. Both the processes have quite some similarities as well as certain differences. We'll understand this process by studying the flow chart which is given in your NCERT. This is very important flow chart. Please practice it. See, on the left side, the pink colored explanation is of spermatogenesis, whereas on right side, the blue color explanation is of oogenesis. So what are the similarities? Similarities are that both the processes begin with diploid cells and result in the formation of haploid gametes. So what are the differences then? Differences is that in males, the cells which undergo the spermatogenesis are called spermatogonia, which are present in testes. Whereas in case of females, the cells which undergo oogenesis are oogonia, which are present in, ovary. So you can see in case of spermatogenesis, the process begins at puberty, at sexual maturity. Point number 3. Whereas in case of females, the process begins at fetal development. You can see the process of spermatogenesis here. The spermatogonia at puberty, they undergo mitotic division, forming primary spermatocyte. Then primary spermatocyte first forms a first meiosis and result into secondary spermatocytes. And then secondary spermatocyte result into spermatid, and each spermatid develops into the sperm. Whereas in case of females, the oogonia undergo the first mitotic division at fetal stage, and then from one oogonia only one ovum is produced, whereas in case of spermatogenesis, one spermatogonium results in the formation of 4 sperms, whereas in females, one oogonium produces only one ovum and 3 polar bodies. First polar body, in the flow chart you can see only 2 polar bodies. Third polar body is formed after fertilization. So you can see this table once again, go through it and note down the points, and along with these points draw the flow chart also. This flow chart is very important from the exam point of view. One question is definitely asked on this concept. So please practice it. In next segment, we'll be studying about the gametes. Male gamete, that is sperm, and female gamete, that is ovum.